Hey everyone, in this video we're going to turn this twine that I found in my junk drawer into these little bushes up next. Hi, this is Michael Peters Bond with the Merrimack Valley Railroad. Thank you for watching this channel, and if you're not already subscribed, please be sure to click that subscribe button and the little bell icon so you get notified of future updates. In this video, we are going to make some bushes that you might find along the forest floor, a riverbank, so forth, with a little bit of twine I found in my junk drawer. All right, let's get started. Okay, so for the first step, what we're gonna do is take our twine and cut a piece of it. Now, I make it long enough here that I can actually make two bushes, one on each end. So don't be afraid to make it actually a little longer than you probably need. So we'll set that aside here. Now this is gonna be plenty long, and you're always gonna trim. But what you wanna do first is basically, instead of unwinding the ends, we're going to unwind in the middle here, and we're going to use some of this like super tacky glue, and let me just grab this so I don't make a mess of my workstation, and I'm just going to twist it open and kind of hold it with between my fingers here, just enough to like put some glue in between all the fibers here. And, well, that's a lot of glue, but that's okay. I'll just spread it out a little bit. And now what we're gonna do is basically re-twist it up. So what this kind of gonna do for you is create sort of like a base. Now to keep it off the paper, I'm actually going to like this and clamp the ends. And that just keeps it kind of like up off the paper enough that it won't stick. It's not really a big deal if it does stick. I'm just going to spread this out a little bit more with my finger. And clean that off. All right. So if we cut anywhere in there later, it's not all going to fall apart. That's sort of the point to this. Okay, so for this step, basically, I'm going to take this twine that we glued, and I'm basically just separating it, pulling it apart, and do it on both sides. We are making two bushes here. You see, this, it just comes apart. And you can see where we glued isn't coming apart, so that kind of helps us set a base. And we're just separating it like this, and then basically going to come in here and just do some trim on our little, just so it's not even, and add a little variation in the height. Yeah, and so that's all we have to do. And next we'll apply the paint in the static grass to sort of fill it out. We're going to take our little trimmed bush and we are going to spray it with some camouflage. Choose any brown, gray, khaki that you want. I kind of wish I had a little bit more brown, but this is what I got, so it works. And so what we're going to do is we're going to spray this, and then we are going to use the spray paint as a glue for some static grass. Now I am using the Woodland Scenics static grass 4mm straw. You could probably use any color you wanted. I do think 4mm is probably the right size for this, only because, I don't know, anything bigger like the 12mm or so, I mean, you could probably get away with the 7, but again, it's your model. Do whatever you want. So I'm just fluffing this a little bit. Again, it doesn't have to be the final shape. So I'm going to take this and give it a spray. Actually, do both sides here. All right, then I'm gonna, so I don't waste any, and I'm literally just pinching it and sprinkling. And I'm probably going a little heavy here, but that's okay. It just, this builds up some volume, so that way there's something for the turf to stick to. So just tap it off, and again, you can kind of spread it out, and then I'm actually going to spray it another time to just kind of help seal it. Trying not to cover my hands in spray paint right now. All right, so that kind of helps build out the base. We're gonna let this dry, and then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna use some adhesive and add some color and some green. So today's video is sponsored by my hobby shop, Merrimack Valley Models, where you can find all of these scenery supplies that I have in stock. Be sure to check it out. I'll put the link in the description below, and you can use promo code YouTube10 to save 10% off everything you see in this video today. Okay, so this next step is all about sort of personal preference and what season your scenery is set to, what part of the country. There's a wide variety of things you could do. Now, what I have for this video is this light green turf, which could be good for maybe spring and or fall, especially if you added some brown to it. It's kind of all about layering. You know, there's all kinds of different colors here. So I've got, you know, medium green, burnt grass, light green, dark green. And then for these, you know, I've got this weeds, which is kind of like almost like an olive green. I've got this green grass, which is a little greener. And then this burnt grass, which is a little more brown. And then, you know, if you wanted to do something seasonal, you could use any of the colored turfs. Or use this flowering foliage. You could probably, if you went light on the static grass part and did like a yellow, you could do like a spring dogwood. And I know that there's a whole bunch of different sort of stemmy bushes that have bright red leaves in the fall. So you could use like one of the reds to do that. Yeah. So let's get started here. So we've got our bush here is now dry, and you can use two types of adhesive. Now, for my demo, I did this Elmer's spray adhesive, and that's probably what I'm going to use right now. But you can also use hairspray. So go raid the, bathroom and grab some hairspray, because that'll work just as well. This spray works really well. I did not wear rubber gloves with it and got it all over my fingers. However, it does clean up really well with Glue Gun. So it came right off with Glue Gun without even scrubbing. So yeah, I'm gonna use this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray. I'll do the bigger one to start with. So I'm gonna spray this with the adhesive. And then basically I'm going to take this clump or coarse foliage and start to sprinkle it on. Now this can be done in layers, and you see I just tapped a little bit off, and really apply it as much as you want. Not every bush is, that we see in the wild is fully filled out with leaves. I'm just going to apply a little bit more here. I'm just going to sort of keep layering this on. I'm just going to tap it off a little bit. And now what I want to do is sort of add a little bit of this blended green, more for like highlights. And I'm just gonna keep on spraying. Plus it'll help fix everything that I put on it. So basically, this is a little bit lighter, and it's just gonna kind of give it that, I'm trying to apply it from the top here so that it gives it, yeah, just kind of gives it that focus. I wish I could get the focus on the camera. There we go. All right. And just keep applying it. And I'm applying it to the top to sort of give that sun-kissed look. And I'm just going to try to seal it in with a little more spray. And then I'm going to turn this over now that my fingers are thoroughly sticky. And spray. And green. All right. And tap it off. Spray some more. I think I'm going to go a little lighter on this one, just so it's not completely. And I'm going to do a little bit of this. You know what? I'm going to add some brown in there. Shake it up. Just maybe it's not quite as alive as its buddy here. And a little texture. And we're gonna let that dry. These little bushes I made before, and you can see how they kind of come out. There's a lot of like detail to the branches, and you're probably like, wow, that's a lot of stem. Well, that's why I said these things aren't really, you can trim them later. So what I'm gonna do actually is I'm just gonna kind of cut some of that stem off, and I'm gonna use, this is an older diorama I had to sort of take pictures, and this is one of my 3D printed models, and I'm just gonna use some full strength glue here. I'm gonna get that in there, and I'm gonna sort of just smush that in, and then the rest of this is just classic clump foliage from Woodland Scenics, but I think this, let's see, you can still sort of, if you're gentle with it, you can kind of spread it apart a little bit. You may have to come in with like some scenic cement or, you know, some spray just to get it perfect, but I think that bush is already 10 times better than these, and it matches the sort of color and style of it. And if you wanted to, I'm gonna come in here and sort of clip off this bottom. You could probably, this bush, making a mess, but I'm just sort of tearing this apart. And you can cut it into little tiny things. Like if you wanted to put this up the side of a building. So now I was able to cut this in half. I'll just cut this little piece off. It's a little straggler. Same with this one. Maybe. And so now we've got two here. And, you know, I'm gonna just go in here and trim this a little, because all that sort of paint and glue and everything kind of helps hold it together. And I'm just gonna come in here. A nice big dollop of full strength glue. And sort of put that in. Now, okay, there we are. We've created our bushes from twine in the junk drawer. Please be sure to leave a comment and click the like button. I will try to respond back to every comment. I want to hear about how you guys created scenery from stuff you found laying around your house. Give me ideas on things you want to see in future videos. And if you're not already subscribed to this channel, please be sure to click the subscribe button and the little bell notification so you get alerted of when I release future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.